I need to pull cards. So we're going to use the Murder of Crows Tarot. Let's grab the Gilded Tarot. And Oracle cards. I usually pick music at random, and it decided to play Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. I actually asked it to play a different kind of music, feeling like it wasn't the right music, and it went right back to this one again. So something will come out. So what do we want to know? We want to know, I want to know, why the fires? Why the fires? The Knight of Wands. Why the fires was my question. And the card is red. Knight of Wands. Battle. A battle. Okay, and what does the the Knight of Swords? Knight of Wands, sorry. Stand for. So, hear me out. I have been saying the water. Watch the water. Now, after the whole thing with water, now comes fire, which is the two opposite elements. And I was just having a conversation today saying that the moon is connected with the water, and that's why when the tides become low or high, it depends on the phase of the moon. And that's not spirituality, that's science. But I asked why the fires. So the Knight of Wands came up. Battle. I'm just trying to breathe right now, because when the second card came out, it is the moon. And if you notice, the torches are fire with the moon in the center. I kind of feel like that's kind of hinting. I predicted a while ago that we were going to have days of darkness. And there's been things that have happened that I'm thinking, oh, that might be it, but it's just very odd in this card how the two torches of fire. So I get the fire, I ask about fire, and I get proven from the red. And look at the sky. That's what we've been seeing. And a battle. And they're ready. They're ready for war. And then we get the moon, which, what did I say? Water. What's underneath? Water. The crab. I believe that the conjunction of the planets right now has to do with what's being shown here. And in the center, it kind of looks like it's time, basically. Almost like it's charging, it's rotating, it's circulating to form the moon. I can tell you right now, and I've said it before, and this reading came to me in 2020, so now I'm trying to pick up the pieces as to exactly where we are in the time frame. And the fire, I truly, truly, truly feel that the fire, this is the issue here. The water, everything happening with the water is man's doing. Everything that's happening with fire is man's doing. But we have other things going on around the world in other places that I don't feel is man's doing, but now it's higher powers reacting. So with this battle, this is the good versus evil battle that we're facing right now. They're here. We had the Woman of Fury come out not that long ago, and now it's changed. Oh, that one wants to come out. Oh, look, the Fool. So he's a jester. Gesture. All the zodiacs are there. Remember, I had said something about the zodiacs. It's connecting. It's all connecting. So that's good. So the zodiacs. And he's basically just all the zodiacs, which means we are in line, in perfect timing, in line with what's going to happen. So I take that as they're telling me this is the current situation. This is where we are currently. They're here. God, gods, spirit guides, past loved ones, they're here. And there's people that are going to be passing from this life onto the next because they're needed for this battle. And believe me, that's not an easy thing for me to say, because I have my own personal things going on as well, with people possibly moving over to the other side, but they're needed. The zodiacs, with the all in line and it being a gesture, the Fool does not mean literally you're a fool. It's kind of like it's the 0 card. See on the top? So it's showing the present moment, but it's kind of like a reminder of, where this can go, because there's always a path to choose. I don't have a good feeling about these fires at all. I feel I'm getting the message that they were intentionally done to cause something. They were intentionally done to force something into place. And it's kind of a reminder of, the fact that we look at our lives and we cherish our lives, but that doesn't mean that everybody does. In the shallow water. I have this funny feeling, and I've had a couple of visions and dreams, and actually had deja vu today, standing outside of my front yard of my house, which we've been in for about, I believe, 3 or 4 years now. And this vision that I had was the front yard of this house. However, I wasn't there yet. We were not in existence within this property yet. And this was years ago. And there was smoke in the sky, and there was a red sun. And I remember feeling very anxious. I was trying to think over and over again, what came after I saw that? And the scary part to me is I want to say I remember seeing a military vehicle going up the road past my house. Why military? There's speculation of lockdowns coming again, but I don't feel like the military is for that reason. I mean, of course, they're going to be here because of that, but there's so much going on. It's so hard to listen to the messages that I'm getting. I'm getting military. I'm getting water. I had did a reading about 6 months ago, I think, talking about loss of communication. We're going to lose communication, literally every way that we could like communicate with each other. Radios, phones, all that. They're going to be out, and we're not going to be able to use them. The other thing is the huge thing with the whole thing with water. There's no moisture in the air. And because there's no moisture in the air, that means there can be no rain. So we could still possibly get storms, but with no rain, which is very dangerous, because if we get thunder and lightning with no rain, that's how more fires can start. And that would be the way a higher power would do it, more so than man. So because man is tampering with things that they shouldn't, they're here. They've been here, but now they're kind of making themselves known, and they're letting us, well, not us personally, but they're letting us kind of just put the pieces where we're going to put them, and they're going to decide whether or not we are going to, look, battle. There's my confirmation. 5 of Wands. So all these guys are at each other with these wands, and they're ready. They're going to fight. Now, they're not fighting in the image, but it's basically letting me know, prepare for war. Goodness gracious. And then the Chariot comes up, which is a very feminine energy. I truly feel like this has to do with the moon. It has to do with the moon. The moon has a lot of power and manipulation upon the water on this planet. And if any higher power decides to use the moon as leverage, we're screwed, because I see a lot of water. Like here we are like needing the water, but that's the whole point. Since COVID started, we have had things taken away from us, even things that didn't make sense like toilet paper and stuff. But it's those things, these things that are being taken from us. It's scary, actually, because we've had essentials taken away from us, or sparing, they were not able to be easily found. And then the whole thing with our crops and our livestock, with the fires there that were put and caused certain things to diminish because of it. This is all like stepping stones of each step. And basically at this point, it's not a matter of like, well, how come nothing's getting done? That's where the Chariot comes in. The higher powers are here, but this is literally judgment. Like, you don't have to believe in a certain religion to understand this cycle of what we're going through in this life right now. The messages that are being said to me is there is a redemption coming. And this isn't a redemption with man fighting and all that. I mean, look at what's happening with Ukraine. Here we are in the U.S. dealing with a dry, a very dry situation where water is limited. I mean, we need the rain and we can't even get it because now all the smoke from the fires and then the fires. But then in Ukraine, the dam was bombed and now that's flooding. So these people are running from water and we're running from the smoke from the fire. It's, if you get where I'm going with this, the next one is earth. Because we already did air, fire, water. So the next one is earth, which has already kind of glimpsed itself at us because of the volcanoes starting in Hawaii. This is all like one after the other, and some of it is simultaneous. And that's why the Ace of Swords comes out with the blue, the masculine background. Now, Ace of Swords is a good card. However, everything has a good and a bad. And with the way that this spread is going, the Chariot comes out with that feminine energy, like they're pissed, and we're going to see the side of Mother Nature that we've never seen before. And Mother Nature is connected to the higher spirit. So with with her having an internal connection with higher spirit, that means they can manipulate whatever they have to. And we've been getting signs over and over and over again that it's just getting worse. I have also had a dream about, you know, how when there was a certain someone in office, it was always the Antichrist. The thing is we always go by the face that we see. And a lot of the times with higher powers at play, there is more dark energy working behind the scenes, behind these faces. So not to say that they're not to blame, but they were the ones that were willing to give up their soul to have this kind of power, to have this type of manipulation. And this is why everything is happening. It's scary. It's very scary. The Ace of Swords with the masculine energy, that's kind of telling me that that's when this is going to happen. Like the battle they're lining up for battle. The moon is doing what she has to do when it comes to manipulating things with the water. And it's almost like it's being set up. So there's definitely going to be a loss of communication. Wi-Fi is going to go down. Everything's going to go down. And that's going to cause a lot of people to panic. And not only with that, and I've been preaching to everybody that I care about to go get a generator because we're going to lose power. I've been trying to figure out, and I've been asking, when is this going to happen, or how is it going to happen? There's two different ways that this could go down. We could lose communication due to a secret situation going on, and the only way to keep people from knowing what's happening is to shut the system down. The other thing is a natural disaster, which comes up in these cards. But that natural disaster is powered by a higher power because they're connected. And that natural disaster, I feel, could possibly be, we have this dry spell happening right now, but we are entering into hurricane season. This might be one of the worst, absolute worst hurricane seasons that we've had in a really long time, to where it's going to be meant to wipe out certain places and certain things because of whatever connection that has with the good or the evil in this battle that's happening. It's hard to say these things out loud sometimes because it sounds insane. Not only does it sound insane, but I feel the feelings that most of us are going to go through as I say these things. And I lose my breath. I have a hard time speaking. So I just want more clarification, because this is definitely coming out. Like, before I even get into detail of what each thing means, it's already there, and then I'm pulling the card, and it's kind of just confirming, basically, what's gonna happen. The Ace of Swords, I feel like, is like an Odin card, if anybody knows anything about Odin. It's almost like it's showing that time frame, but it's not telling me exactly what's going to happen, because we're not supposed to know that. And I feel we're not supposed to know that, because if you knew what the ending would be, it would change the way you react during these tough times. And these tough times that are about to hit us straight in the face again is a test. Humanity within itself is being tested as a whole of how good or bad we are. And I gotta be honest, there's a lot of bad. So it makes me nervous when it comes down to judgment. I hope that we don't all suffer because of the majority wanting to be horrible. So I want a little more clarification on the Knight of Wands, please. Maybe you could give me a little bit more of an answer as to what's going on here. These cards are really hard to shuffle, so what will come out will come out. They're very slippery. And I can't shuffle them the opposite way because I can't hold them. What is this? I'm scared. Oh, 2 cards came out. So this one fell first. The 5 of Swords, confirmation. I asked for confirmation of the Knight of Wands, and I got the 5 of Swords, which is battle. There's definitely a battle, and it's on the horizon, because look at the birds. It's on the horizon. Now this one I said the other one must be for the moon, for what's going on in the moon. Ironically enough, now it's the 6 of Swords. That's the actual battle. And if you notice, he's in a boat on the water with the moon over his head. And they made sure to represent that within the darkness up here. So it's like the light shining his way. But the 6 of Swords is confirming to me that the moon is representing the water here. Water is going to be a serious issue. It already is in Ukraine. So that's no bueno. So we have the battle with fire. We have the battle with water. Now I would like a little clarification on the Fool, please. And the zodiacs, that the Fool is so generously flying around him. Ooh, oh, no, it ain't that, because that's just, are you kidding me? Okay, so the cards fell. A bunch of them fell because I dropped some of them, but for some reason I felt like I don't know, I couldn't put this one back. This is the Hanged Man. So in reference to the Fool, I asked for more clarification, and the zodiacs. The Hanged Man doesn't literally mean the Hanged Man. However, what do you have to do with the Fool? It's almost like it's mirroring. You see that? It's like it's mirroring itself. So it's trying to get it in. I gotta listen. Out of the blue, uninvited. It's weird because as I'm looking at the Fool and the Hanged Man, because I asked for clarification and that's what I got, I feel like the air is clear, but it's almost like it's clear because things are about to just blow. The Hanged Man here, I'm gonna have to refer to the book because I'm not getting the full message. So let's see, maybe, and anybody who pulls cards, don't ever be afraid to read your books because they help you. They help you understand the card and its full meaning. And if you're getting mixed signals like I kind of am with this one, I need a little bit more clarification. But before I read it, I will try to say what I think it's saying. I mean, I definitely get a mirror. I keep hearing mirror, mirror. Like, it's constantly mirroring something. It's mirroring something. Like, are we repeating history? Is this, I mean, we know that, but there's something significant about it. And the fact that, like, do you see the balance? Like, the light part of him is in the dark part of the background, and then the opposite with his legs. So maybe this is the point where the truth is revealed. That's what it is. We go, like, the truth has been revealed already, but not enough people were awakened to see it. So now the fire, the water, and the mirror. The mirror of looking, being able to see the reflection and realizing, oh my God, this is really what's happening. So this is like the preparation for the war, like bringing people together. People are going to start really seeing. They have been over the last couple of years, but this is, we need as much strength as we can get when it comes to the good, because the bad ultimately is stronger than the good. So that's what I'm getting. I'm going to read to you what it says and tell you what I'm picking up over this. It's definitely the mirror, the reflection. Like I said, it's an internal thing. They need the good. So this is where when these things happen, you've been being tested, but this is like your ultimate test of like how, as a human being, would you react if it came down to, let's say somebody, for example, you're sitting outside your house and somebody comes rushing up to you and they're screaming, they're coming to get me,